Aloha, I'm Kala'i Miller and welcome to Ocean Paddler. On today's episode, we check out the world's largest outrigger canoe festival, the Queen Lili'uokalani Canoe Races on the Kona coast of the Big Island of Hawaii. This year, the event saw a record number of paddlers from all over the world, and with 5 days of competition, there were nearly 5,000 participants. This year marked the 50th anniversary of this iconic paddling festival in Kailua-Kona, and today we feature the women's race.
We're here at Kamakahono Bay in Kailua-Kona, celebrating the 50th anniversary of the Queen Liliuokalani Canoe Race.
The race that starts this morning at 7:30 is all the wahinis, the mixed 50s and the mixed 60s. They're going to be going down to Honau now, and we've got 192 entries in that race. It's the biggest we've ever seen. That's exciting.
Dude, we're so excited. It's been a long time since we've been here, with so much unfortunate stuff happening in Hawaii. I think it was good for us to kind of come out of the island, come to the Big Island, support paddling, support our culture, and just get back in here.
We have hundreds of crews coming to the beautiful island of Hawaii to celebrate our queen, and paddling and the culture of Vaa just shows that the Hawaiian spirit is alive and aloha is real.
Here at the Queen Liliuokalani Race, it's a 5-day event, and we have cultural fair, 4-man race, iron 6-man races, 9-man change races, double hull race, we have the kids races, and on Monday we end up with the Kupuna race.
The torch parade through the township, which is amazing. Thousands of people carrying torches through the town. And then having the International Paddlers Evening brings people together from places where they would normally not meet, and they get that chance to meet. So I think culturally, for the amount of racing that's offered and the amount of other experiences, this is the race to be at.
It's a combination of a lot of opportunities to get in the water, get on the water, and be a part of the Ohana Va'a, be a part of the paddling experience.
Amen. Amen. Mahalo.
The Saturday races, which are the highlight, the longest running event, started in Kailua Bay, go south down to Honau now, about 18 miles. That's the wahinis and the mixed 50s and the mixed 60s. The return race is for the men and also the mixed open and the mixed 40s. There's also unlimited canoes that are the more modern, more Polynesian design. There's koa canoes, there's 9-person crews in both the women's and the men's. And the men's race starts there at Honau now by the wahinis finish and finishes here at the Kailua Pier.
Next, more action from the Queen Lili'uokalani Canoe Races. Every year, the Queen Liliuokalani Canoe Races takes place on or about the Queen's birthday, honoring Hawaii's last monarch and celebrating our canoe culture.
For our Queen Liliuokalani Canoe Race this year, it is absolutely record-breaking. Our start for the signature event race will have over 190 canoes heading south. It's the largest outrigger long-distance canoe race in the world.
When we first opened up registration in April, it just exploded. And we thought, oh, it'll calm down. It just got bigger and bigger. And I've been here for 30 years doing Liliuokalani helping, and this is the biggest year.
Some people just came in for the Saturday races, but at one point during all that time, you had friends, you had family, you had paddlers, you had coaches, you had all kinds of escort boats, you had officials, you have all kinds of people involved. So yeah, we were definitely right around 5,000 people in Kona.
Everything's a race within a race. Whoever's next to you, left, right, behind you, in front of you, whatever. If that person is in front of me, that's going to be the next canoe I'm going to chase. And it doesn't matter what division. If there's a crew of wahinis, I want to get them. I want to chase them down.
In Singapore, we are all super competitive, right? So whether it's on the water, whether it's at work, whatever it is, we will always want to get ahead. So even here, as much as we're admiring the scenery and the clear blue waters, oh, you bet we're going to put up a fight.
It's a competition, but on land, everybody is family. You see somebody's lifting a boat up, everybody goes and help, you know. But then when you go on the water, you know, it's competition.
Queen Liliuokalani's birthday was September 2nd, and of course the race doesn't always fall on that date, but the race is a celebration of her birthday. And that does remind us that we are here to keep these legacies alive, and that celebrating a birthday is a perfectly great reason to bring the world together in sport, in this beautiful place. For us, it's about generations to come. It's not just about this moment in time. It's about a legacy, just as the Queen wanted to ensure.
Everything she exemplified in her time with all of the things that she had to deal with, she really was so graceful as a queen, and it's beautiful that we get to honor her every year at this beautiful race. She will always be an ali'i that will always be honored for her humility and for being ku'e in what she believed in, and ultimately, you know, protecting her kingdom at that time.
Remembering who we are as a people, remembering where we come from, and the stories of our past make us who we are. Queen Liliuokalani certainly does that for us as a people. And if you know the story, it's a sad story. It's a hard story to live with, but it's very important for all of us to talk about it, to remember her. But today the cultural practitioners are here. So there's lei making, people talking about the canoe, there's pa'i'ai making right now with the papaku'i'ai, and super honored to be here to share our aloha, to be present for Queen Liliuokalani.
Next, more action from the women at the Queen Lili'uokalani Canoe Races. With 5 days of paddling action and a high level of competition, the Queen Liliuokalani Canoe Races attracts paddlers from all over Hawaii and across the globe.
This is not only the largest long-distance canoe race in the world, but it's also an international hub. We have repeat crews from New Zealand, Australia, Singapore, Taiwan, Tahiti, the Marquesas, Canada. There's clubs here from all over the world, joining all the clubs from the mainland that come and all the clubs from the state of Hawaii.
It's always good to come to this race, which is pretty much the melting pot, I think, where there's so much international involvement that I can pretty much consider this race like the hot pot for canoe racing.
It's so amazing when you have return paddlers from the mainland, international come back, and they bring new people with them because they experienced all of the culture, all of the competition, and they go back and they rally all the troops to come back the following year.
So this is a great place to everybody is get union, is getting together, to having fun with the race, and everybody is so happy. It's looking at the face and say hello, aloha. That was really great.
The cultural blending and awareness, just sharing, I think is not only Hawaiian, but as we've seen, it's a worldwide thing. And each time we get a chance to do that, to be a part of it, we just expand those cultures.
Not only is it an amazing competition to bring everyone from all around the world, but getting to showcase our cultures and sort of get an insight to all the cultures from all around the world and get to celebrate that all together before we go into a few days of some pretty grueling races.
To see so much people from all across the globe taking into our sport, and our culture, and just to kind of share that. And the commonality now is Vaa is kind of like everybody speaking the same language from across the globe, no matter where you're from or what ethnicity you are. So super stoked to see this many people come, participate, and kind of gather in the same place doing it.
This is a sport I love. It's our cultural sport. It's really magical to be a part of it because you know that people come from all over the world to do our tradition, to honor our place, and to remember why paddling is important and where it began, its origins. And for our people, it was our way of traversing through islands to see our ohana, to finding new places, navigating the world. And paddling is so important because it's the water that keeps us together.
This is more than a sport. This is culture, this is celebrating history, and it's celebrating a very rich culture of gratitude for the ocean, for the sky, for the winds that support us. So I do feel that for anyone that has entered outrigger canoe paddling and they're not sure about what are the roots of this sport, they should come here. And they will learn so much.
For the waters, right now it's supposed to be forecasted 3 to 5 knots, and it's supposed to be a little calm. The thing is, what's going to get a lot of people, I'd say, is the hydration part. It's supposed to be really hot. But one thing about the 3 and 5 knots, you really have to focus on your technique. It's not like you just can start surfing waves here and there. It's really focusing and blending as a crew. So it's going to come down to that crew and that time on the water and just kind of working as a team together.
And if they're not so conditioned for the big ocean and the big swell, they can also join in as long as they're prepared for heat and endurance.
Because of all the devastation that's happened in Lahaina and up in Kula on Maui, there's a lot that's been going on. And one of the things that we are doing for the race is that a portion of all the proceeds is going to be donated to one of the specific charities that is doing the best for the people of Maui.
And so when we as a lahui and multiple lahui today, you saw from Hong Kong and Taiwan, we're speaking words of love being sent over Ahuanaheo onto the island of Maui.
Yeah, it's just hard to comprehend the magnitude of it, and it's a very emotional thing, and we can feel that from the Hawaiian people.
Honestly, I wouldn't be here today if I didn't feel the love from around the world. We are going through so much pain on Maui, and to be here and just to feel all the love and all the support to our island and everything that we're dealing with. This race meant the world to a lot of paddlers from Maui. We're looking at this as a place of healing, a place of grieving, and just to feel all the aloha. So much people were wearing red to aloha lahaina, and that's why I am here today. This has been so healing in so many ways.
You know, when you see something like this, when you see a community come together, not only in our Hawaii, but our world, to offer pule and offer our mana to lahaina, moreover than that, you recognize that it is really important for all of us to understand that it is crucial that the community of lahaina and the future of lahaina stays within what the community wants and what the community needs.
It's really tragic what happened, but at the same time, it's so great to see everyone coming together. And it's really important for us that we came here to do this for everyone back home that can't right now. And we're racing for all of the rest of Maui. And the ocean is special, and we need to enjoy it for everyone that can't enjoy it right now.
Next, more action from the women at the Queen Lili'uokalani Canoe Races. The women's long-distance course at the Queen Lili'uokalani Canoe Festival starts in Kailua-Kona, and it's a hard-fought 18 miles and a sprint to the finish into Honaunau.
Today's conditions were pretty different than we expected. Whenever we come to Queens, we expect really flat water, never any surf, but the current and the wind provided a lot of different conditions that we were kind of working through.
It wasn't actually too hot. The water was beautiful, very clear, and it was really awesome to see the amount of Vaa that came for the 50th anniversary of Queen Lili'uokalani's race.
It was a lot of anticipation leading up to this race, but this morning the goal was just to stay calm, stay centered, and just put it all in the water. The hard work was over. The training was the hard work. We came here to race, and that was the easy part.
Our start was really good. We hopped off the line. Our intentions is always at the start to get off the line and get away from the pack. As far as the battle, we didn't have any traditionals close to us, but we had some unlimiteds around and then also walking past us, which sometimes can be mentally defeating.
And then we moved to I don't know how many crews, but we moved up a lot, and there was this one Japan crew, I don't know what their name was, but I saw us slowly getting towards each other, and we're like, come on, let's beat them. And we ended up beating them in the finish, and it was a really, really fun finish.
The place where the transition from the Wahinis to the Kanes occurs is Pu'uhonua o Honaunau, which is a very sacred spot in the Hawaiian culture and the Hawaiian history. It's where people who may not have a chance to survive if they stayed where they were able to go and find refuge. It's also known as a place of refuge.
We're so thankful that this race happened this year so that we could all come together, because this is a really healing place. I mean, the ocean, absolutely. Being on the water together, that's healing in itself. But to finish at Pu'uhonua o Honaunau, it's a place of refuge. It's a place of peace. It's a place of honoring our ancestors and feeling that connectivity. So a really special race today for us all to come together.
Yeah, no, we're lucky enough to paddle regularly
right there where the women's race finishes. They paddle down from Kona to Hona now, which is where we are, waiting for them to come in so we can paddle back down to town. And we're gonna keep doing what we do. We take care of the place as much as we can and keep the paddling going down there because it's a very special spot. Hawaiians lived there for years, and King Kamehameha lived down there.
As Hawaiians, we are very close to the water, right? If you take care of the aina, you take care of the water, and it's going to take care of you. Bringing all these people here to really experience that firsthand, to see as a culture how close we are to the elements here in Hawaii, from Mauka to Makai. To us, sharing that is something that is very special, and it really communicates a lot to the world about what's important to us, what our values are. And she was the epitome of that.
Now that was a great 18-mile race from Kailua-Kona to Honaunau. Congratulations to all who participated, but especially our top finishers. In the women's open division, it was Kamehameha Canoe Club in third, Manu'oke Kai in second, and in first place, the paddlers of Laka and Kalahui Kai teamed up for a time of 2 hours and 4 minutes. In the open unlimited division, it was Huinalu Canoe Club in third, Aloha Unlimited 40s in second, and Kai Ehitu in first place with a time of 1 hour and 57 minutes. For detailed race results, you can check out QLCanoeRaces.com. Next, more action from the Queen Liliuokalani Canoe Races. The second race of the day covers the same 18-mile course, but this time from Honaunau back to Kailua-Kona. Let's check in with the men as they battle it out in the midday heat.
I'm super excited to be here today. You know, the Queen Lili'uokalani is a big race, especially since it's a 50-year anniversary. I heard there's crazy numbers, 190 on both sides of the field. I think it's just a great event to be at, from the whole Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, like just to be here with a bunch of people from all over the world and share this, you know, sport we love.
Although it's super competitive when you're on the water, the Ohana spirit off the water before you get out and all of the excitement around that is what draws people to this race.
This has been going on before us, and so everybody who's out here today paddling is just blessed to be on these waters that have been, you know, traversed many times before us, and we're out here enjoying it as a sport and having fun, but it's a real thing, and we're just carrying it forward.
It's the Queen's birthday, so we're paying a tribute to her with a Hawaiian sport and a cultural activity that's definitely a blessing for us and a tribute to her.
One of the things that really excites us about this particular Queen Liliuokalani race, other than it being the 50th, is that so many people have come from all over the world, and some of the people from smaller areas, a big race to them might be 20 canoes. So for them to be out on the start line with 170 more canoes that they're used to, it's just what we call a chicken skin moment.
Compared to Japan, like we have it's about like 20 canoes getting together and then start line. It switches also small sizes, but it's pretty exciting. It's really small size compared to here.
I think it's really hard to sit on the start line and not have butterflies. That's part of what makes the race start so special and so unique, is that no matter what direction you're looking, left or right, there's just endless canoes.
When our club started, there was really only a couple of clubs. We're now getting a dozen, maybe 20 canoes on the start line in some races. But of course, yeah, when you come here and you're on the start line and there's canoes as far as you can see and a jet ski whizzing back and forth, it's awesome, amazing.
This race especially is known as the world's biggest canoe race. So there's the most international crews, and it's really nice because it's long and hot, but it's forgiving. So it's really welcoming to experience levels across the board.
Where we are in Vancouver, Canada, the water tends to be really flat, so it's nice to come out here to Kona and paddle the waters here. There's a special element to the waters here. You know, even when the conditions are a little bit more quiet, there still feels like there's this energy, you know, just being on the water and paddling.
We train on the River Thames in London, so we're used to flatter conditions. This, definitely suits us more than a channel crossing type race. So I think why we get a lot of people interested.
Next, more action from the Queen Liliuokalani Canoe Races. The men's long distance event at the Queen Lili'uokalani Canoe Races has several divisions, including age groups, juniors, 9-man, iron, unlimited boats, spec boats, but arguably there's nothing more special than paddling this beautiful coastline in a koa canoe.
Paddling, it is more than a sport. You know, I started when I was 10, and there's people that I'll be paddling with when I'm 60 that I started with when I was 10. We'll be paddling with each other for 50 years. And the relationships you build through paddling are interpersonal, but it's also with the place that you paddle and the equipment you paddle on. Like these koa canoes, you look at them and they have such reverence throughout the canoe club. People love them as if they're one of their own family. You're building a canoe club around that canoe, and that's your vessel, and that's what you are going to be paddling for maybe 50, 60 years.
You know, it has its own mana, it has its own spirit, and there's a additional respect you have to give for your koa. And if you give it that respect, then she gives it back to you.
The koa is part of the family. It's somebody that's essential. It was what they used as travel. It was so prized. And so for us to be able to still race these things that people have raced for years before us, right, and put their mana into this, right? They've taken care of it. They've rigged it. They've done their races. They have their stories that echo on forever. So in 10 years, 20 years, when people look back, what was the stories of these people? They're going to be paddling in this canoe one day when we're not. So that's why we have to take care of it. And that's why we have to perpetuate this so that it allows them to relive it and know that everything they did was for a reason.
Canoe paddling is a very unique sport with a broad range of participants from juniors all the way to Kupuna. Here at this one event, you can get everybody, your entire family participating, and that's the uniqueness of our sport. And that's why so many families and Ohanas love it.
You know, you teach them young, you give them a good experience when they're young, and they follow through and keep it through, and then they keep going. 70s, 80s, or whatever. You can do this for life. Your family can do it together. Family that plays together stays together.
I'm inspired by the Kupunas, seeing them race, because they've been doing it for generations and generations already. So seeing them race and seeing them still go, I'm happy to see them.
The Unlimited Canoe is a different division. Like, we acknowledge that the koa has its history really deep in the culture. And then the more modern canoe that most people will be racing, but the Unlimited takes it to another level with speed. So you have a lighter craft, you have a sleek design.
It's a good tool. I mean, it's a fun division. Like, granted, yeah, you're in like a speedboat, but you still gotta know how to stay patient in it. You can't over rev and do too much. It's just trying to find that run and that blend with the rest of your crew to keep that thing moving.
I think the Unlimited is like a more modern canoe. It helps with a different stroke. And it's good too, because you have a lot of good paddlers that comes from different parts in the world, and you're competing with the best.
Next, more action from the 50th annual Queen Liliuokalani Canoe Races. With a record number of participants at the 50th annual Queen Liliuokalani Canoe Races, there were battles happening all over the field. But after nearly 2 hours of all-out paddling, everyone was digging deep for that sprint to the finish.
The conditions today were actually, there was a little bit surf, but it was super sticky. I think we had a big tide. I believe they were saying we had like full moon. We had a lot of movement out there, but ideally I'd say we had good condition. Surprisingly, it was a little cool with the wind in our face.
Beautiful at Honau and paddling through to here in Kailua. A little bit sticky, current was against us. I think the time was a little slower compared to previous years. So we had to dig deep, hoikahi, work together as one, and a few runs. But beautiful, you know, this place is just so beautiful, so nani. And just here to celebrate Queen Lili'uokalani on her birthday and be part of this Polynesian sport.
We got a clean start, and luckily for us, the other crews that we wanted to keep our eye on lined up next to us. So we had Lani Kai, Keoho, and Wailea. We're all kind of close together, so we just popped off the start, and 10-15 minutes into it, there's a little bit of separation, and then you just go from there.
We got that slight lead, and we're able to kind of keep it there. But every so often, they'll do a couple pushes. They'll come marching back up throughout the whole race. I know in the middle of the race, the Tui Tonga guys, they had an unreal middle, and they came flying up to us. And it was amazing to just battle with them and stay with them. And then to finish the race, we ended up holding on to the lead. You know, we're beyond blessed, especially on a year like today. Like, I've never seen the pier so packed before. People are screaming at us, videotaping us. And honestly, just an honor, especially with everything going on with Maui. And you know, a lot of people hear about the fires going on, and just to represent Maui.
The ocean has the most healing power in the world. It's for everybody, whether you're paddling, surfing, diving, snorkeling, swimming, whatever it is, just get in the water. You can just for a swim with your family, your kids.
And it's very important that we continue to practice our practice, because we can provide a space for people to come, especially our Lahaina people and all of us Kanaka, who paddling is our practice, for us to be able to heal together and move forward in a Vaa for our people.
It's good to see that there's still races for people to go to. I know I have some friends from Lahaina that are also out here this weekend, and it gives you the opportunity to do what you love and heal.
Today was the first time I felt my kupuna. I felt my mom, I felt my grandmother, I felt my great-grandmother. The last few weeks I couldn't really connect to them because there was so much going on, but being in the Vaa today and spending that time in the canoe was the most healing that I've gotten in the last 3 weeks. So I'm so grateful for this canoe race. I will always cherish the 50th Queen Lili'uokalani race here in Kona.
Congratulations to all who paddled, but especially our top finishers. The top 3 finishers in the men's iron traditional division was Team Voli in 3rd, Team Oceania in 2nd, and Wailea in 1st place with a time of 2 hours and 3 minutes. The top 3 finishers in the men's iron unlimited division were Hulakai in 3rd, Kupuna Canoe Club in 2nd, and Wailea Canoe Club with a time of 2 hours and 5 minutes in 1st place. For detailed race results, check out qlrace.com. Next, more action from the Queen Liliuokalani Canoe Races. After a tough day of racing on Saturday, paddlers look forward to the fun and exciting races that Sunday brings. And the tough, hardcore Kupuna even stick it out for Monday.
The Sunday races, we start off with the kids, 14 up to 18-year-olds. Then we have one-person races also for men and for women. And then we have the double hull races for men and for women and for mixed crews. The day before was, this is the big race, let's get it out of the way. The next race is a little bit more have fun, get out there, but still try to be competitive, still try to get a medal, and still try to get a good combination of people that are paddling the canoes.
The OC2, OC1's been awesome. A lot of people doing the 12, and it's a great camaraderie on Sundays. Still competition, but not as intense, and it's just more fun competition.
A lot of buzz in the air. I feel like it's more Ohana, you know, it's more like family, and it's people that are friends and want to paddle again. Because, you know, after a race like yesterday, you really don't want to paddle unless you have some fun people you'll paddle with.
I didn't think there'd be that much competition because, you know, everybody parties up after the Saturday race, and I don't drink, so I figured, oh yeah, I'm gonna go out there. And you know, I got on the line and found out there's a whole bunch of other guys out there don't drink, and they take it serious too. The competition's stiff.
I'm super excited. The winds are a little bit more rough and it's a little bit more choppy than yesterday, so we'll see how it is. But I'm super excited to be here and I'm so ready to start the race.
Come again with the baseline sound.
This year we have over, I believe, 60 kids teams that have entered, which is a lot. And we're so excited about that because the keiki, the kids, they're the future of our sport.
We want them to be better than we ever were. And this is our foundation. This is who we are, having them grounded in our culture and understanding our values of our people through paddling is one of the most important things that we need to remember.
Our children are being raised up and developed in these events, and they see what's happening. They're participating in the oli and singing of mele and teaching the visitors about our culture. And these cultural events help to develop that identity within them so that they know who they are, because if we don't do it, who's going to do it?
I came into paddling when I was like 8 or 10 and I didn't really know about it, but my family paddled a lot and it's really enriched in my culture too. And so in my family and where I grew up in, everybody paddled, all my friends paddled, and it was a really good start, and it gives good morals too, especially when you're a kid. You know how to take care of yourself and your things and also other people as well, and it just gives you good life skills to start off, and it's also really, really fun. Like, I really enjoy paddling, and it's one of my favorite things to do.
The double hull canoe races are really fun because it's just two 6-mans that are strapped together with, you know, usually just pieces of raw 4x4, and steering it really is a trip because it feels like a vessel and you're really trying to hold on to it and you're going way faster than you would be in a single canoe, and it's a lot of fun.
We had 2 clubs from Canada that were combining to make the double hull. We had a men's crew and a women's crew, but there were extra paddlers with us from other clubs that got picked up because people couldn't make the race.
It's definitely intense. Things tend to be a little bit tighter there, and especially around the turns, there's definitely a certain amount of action that happens.
At the Monday race for the Kupuna, for the older paddlers, we all try to do as paddlers is set an example. And as we get older, the ability to stay healthy, to paddle longer, is definitely an example for those younger paddlers coming up behind us. And the races we have on Monday are for 50, 60, 65, and 70-year-olds. And they're still strong. They're still going competitively. And The more they're able to stay around, the more of an idea of what lies ahead for the younger paddlers.
The race is about 6 miles long, and it's a straight shoreline race along the Kona coastline here and back.
I look at the folks that are older, and I do remember, you know, the first time I actually saw a 70-year-old crew come across the line, literally the entire beach was up and cheering. And I think that's who I want to be. And Nappy is a fixture and an icon and a symbol of our sport, really. And, you know, he's passed that on to every generation in his family.
Seeing all the people who are so much more experienced than us, so much older than us, it's very inspiring and very excited to sort of see where my waka ama or outrigger canoeing career takes me.
It is a beautiful thing about canoe paddling. We call it the Vaa Ohana. And it doesn't matter what club you paddle with. It doesn't matter where you live. If you're a paddler, you're part of the Vaa Ohana.
That's the beautiful thing about this community. There's that element of Ohana, and it really knows no boundaries. It doesn't really know any nationalities or creeds or anything. If you're a paddler, you're a paddler. And that's just a beautiful part of the sport, isn't it?
Everybody's been super friendly to us here across the globe. You know, it could be from Tahiti, US, Hawaii, even the Taiwanese team. Everyone feels like a family because we've all come together for the love of the sport.
We're not separate, we're one because the ocean connects us. We're one. We are connected to the rest of the world because the ocean is a connector, it's not a separator.
The Queen Lili'uokalani Canoe Festival is the largest outrigger canoe race in the world, and it just keeps getting better year after year. For detailed race results, check out qlcanoerace.com. That's all the time we have for today. We hope you enjoyed the show. I'm Kalai Miller, and until next time, hoi pa.